Hi friends, I'm calling you guys again. I like to say that instead of going live on the video. I'm calling all of my friends on Instagram who may tune into this because I'm stuck in traffic going to the stadium as usual. And for those of you who have not tuned into my last few live videos, because of my health condition with ulcerative colitis, which one of the symptoms of the condition is urgency to need to use the restroom, as I'm sure all of you can imagine, being stuck in a car in traffic can cause some anxiety, and that's an understatement because I get extreme anxiety at this point being in the car. Something I definitely am going to need to deal with. Probably will talk to a therapist when I get home to New Jersey because it's pretty difficult for me to get places with this situation going on. So I like to go live on these Instagram videos because it distracts me a bit and I just talk about random stuff. Sometimes if I'm at a red light, I'll check out the questions or comments that you guys are putting in there, but probably kind of not safe for me to do that. So I appreciate you tuning in. If you want to type in a question or comment, that's fine. I may or may not see it though during the video. But just a couple thoughts. So for those of you who did not follow the latest of the NWSL season, the Seattle Reign, my team, unfortunately lost in the semifinal game of playoffs to the Portland Thorns this past weekend. And I was debating whether I'd be able to make it to the game because, as you can imagine, traveling is very stressful for me when I'm not in a situation where I know what to expect or know if there's going to be a restroom or if it's going to be a comfortable situation. I usually just opt out of even putting myself into that kind of situation. But it was great because I went down in the team bus, which had a bathroom on it, so I sat right next to the bathroom and then went straight to the hotel, was able to go to the team's pregame training session and then be at the game with the team, which was obviously a very disappointing result for us and a sad way for the season to end. But overall, I think it was an interesting season for the Seattle Reign because we had a very different roster from what had been here previously, and I was new to the team as well, so I was one of I don't even know the numbers, but maybe there were 6 returning players from the Reign last season, and then all of us new players, and in addition to that, a new coaching staff. So Vlatko Andonovski, who was the coach for FC Kansas City, is our coach here in Seattle, and I was the only player who had ever played for Vlatko previously, and I didn't even play this season. So pretty much it was a new experience for everyone involved, and so a very interesting process to watch players from literally all over the world and all over the country who had never played together really and never played for this coach come together and go through the ups and downs of forming a cohesive unit with a similar idea of what we wanted to get done on the field. And by the last third of the season, I'd say I think we really started to mesh as a unit, and you could see that in the team performances, just a lot of control of what we were doing on the field and executing a very clear game plan. So it was sad for all of us to not make it to the championship game and be able to compete to win the NWSL championship. But although I have to hate Portland now as a Seattle fan, I do want to say, shout out to the organization there and what they've done in terms of their fan base, because it's just phenomenal. And it's, as much as I hate them because they knocked us out of the playoffs and their rival team on the field, I can never hate what they've done for the game of women's soccer. It's, we showed up 2 hours before the game, and their supporter section was already getting filled up and chanting at us to go home, which obviously pissed us off. But at the same time, I mean, you don't see that almost anywhere in the women's game, especially at the club level. So to be able to play in that environment and see what they've done for the women's game with their fan base is it's phenomenal. It's really special, and it's obviously different in all, in the different locations of the teams, and there's a different type of soccer scene, city, environment everywhere in terms of the different franchises. But I think there can be a lot taken from what Portland's done, and other clubs can, model aspects of what they've done and try to replicate it, because it's, like I said, it's truly special. So anyway, though, enough of that, because I don't want to think about that game. it pissed us all off, and we were really sad after. So today I'm driving right now to do my exit physical with the club, which for me won't entail much because I didn't actually play. So my body, in terms of my joints and ligaments and everything that they usually test, is very healthy. It's just my internals that I need to fix. So I'm gonna do my exit physical, kind of wrap things up at the stadium, which is sad, and then I'm packing up to head back home to New York, New Jersey area for the off season. And for those of you who know me personally, you know that I am like way overly sentimental with these things. So when I start to pack and get ready to leave a place, even the things I don't like about a place, like the traffic, I'm like thinking to myself like, oh, this is the last time I'm going to sit in this traffic, and I feel sad, which is ridiculous. But I know it about myself already. I get sad about the silliest things, and I always think, oh, this is the second to last time I'll do this, or the last time I'll do this, and I get sentimental. But anyway, yeah, I've been packing up. I fly home on Wednesday. So it will be sad to say goodbye to everyone. And for me right now, it's kind of an interesting crossroads in my career, because I was thinking about this on the drive before I started the live video. In terms of every other element of being a professional player besides my internal health with my illness called ulcerative colitis, I feel awesome. Like I've taken really good care of my body. I've been very fortunate, so I feel really thankful to not have had any serious lasting injuries. Mentally, I still feel really motivated to get better. So I was kind of thinking of ways that I could, until I'm ready to really train fully and see how my body's feeling, ways that I can continue to get better, like strategically analyzing game film. And I'm actually I have an exit meeting with the coaches. I'm going to talk to them about some things that I can do, maybe not physically, to continue to improve and learn as a center back, because I'm kind of a newer center back. I used to be a midfielder for most of my career until the last few years. So I still feel very motivated to get better as a player, but I also have to recognize that, if my body can't do it, I'm not going to risk my health to push and train. So hoping that I get healthy, but also working on the whole idea of letting go and not deciding that on my own, that I'm going to be healthy and I'm going to make it back, and instead seeing if my body is going to allow me to do that. And if it is, I'll be very thankful, and I will continue to train and get better as a player and play. And if my body says, you know what, not right now, then I have to listen to that and respect it. And so this is what I keep telling myself: listen to your body. Don't try to force it to fit into your plan. Let go and kind of surrender to whatever is going to happen and whatever timeline it's going to happen, and then kind of work and do the best I can given that timeline. So not an easy thing to do, especially for someone like me who's extremely type A and has tried to control every single little thing in my whole career and in my life. But that's the learning process that this illness has really taken me through. And it's I say process because I have the ideas in my head on the idea of letting go, surrender, but it's still, I notice I have thoughts all the time of like, I'll have one good day and feel good and I'm planning my comeback, and I have to remind myself, no, that's not what you need to be doing right now. So if anyone has any advice or tips on how to best let go and go with the flow, always open to those, because it's not my specialty, we'll just say. But yeah, like I said, it's really interesting because outside of this illness, I do feel really good and healthy and motivated and like all in to continue a long pro career. But obviously, being sick is not good, not just for playing soccer, but it's really important for me to get healthy life-wise. I haven't been able to even live a normal life through this flare-up of my illness. I can't even leave the house to do social things, go to the grocery store a lot of times. It takes a lot of thought and planning on just normal daily things that I took for granted before. It's really changed my life, and I do have full belief that I'll get back to 100% health. And called remission in this case, and be able to lead a normal life and hopefully continue to play the sport I love. I know I'll always be a soccer player, just kind of waiting to see in what capacity in this upcoming year or so. So I'm, like I said, going to go back to New Jersey. I've had amazing medical care here in Seattle. I cannot speak highly enough of our team doctor, Dr. Dresner, and the whole staff at the University of Washington that I've met with. I met with a specialist named Dr. Lee at the University of Washington, and phenomenal. Doesn't even begin to describe how good he is. So they've both made me feel really supported through this process. There's no right answers for an illness like this. Sometimes it takes trial and error with different medications, which is what I'm kind of going through now. And I could not have asked for better support, physically, emotionally, and just problem solving through this process. So I feel really hopeful in the sense that these doctors have my best interests in mind and will get me to a point of health. Really grateful for the Seattle Reign organization and the medical care that has been provided here. Like I said, and also even the staff being able to, our athletic trainer Dave and our strength and conditioning and sports scientist Nick, being able to tell me on certain days, like, no, you're not training, because sometimes I need that. I convince myself I feel okay and I think, oh, I'm ready to train and build back up, and they'll either say, no, not today, you're not training, or I'll do a little bit on the field and kind of have the urge to continue into the next drill and training, and they say, you know what, nope, you're out. So appreciate that guidance, because we teach ourselves as pro athletes to push and push and push and ignore feelings of pain in the body, which sometimes is good and important in doing fitness and things like that. But in this case, for me, that's not what I need to do. And it's been so helpful to have them to hold me accountable to that. So again, very thankful for the situation here, going to my exit physical. So I'll be saying goodbye to all the staff and team for now, but I'm really thankful that I decided to come and try to play the season, even though I knew it was a decent possibility that I wouldn't be able to, which is what ended up happening. But I for sure would have regretted it if I was just at home wondering, what if I had gotten healthy and been able to. So in addition to that, I learned a ton from watching the players on this team on a daily basis. We have on the Seattle Reign, hands down, some of the best in the world in each position. And actually, sometimes I would argue like the actual best players in the world in certain positions. So to be able to watch those players do their thing individually, but also come together as a unit throughout the season, has been, I've learned a ton from that. So hopefully it'll be something I can put into use on the field, but if not, definitely wonderful learning experience for whatever I do within the game, in terms of the development system, youth development, all the way up through, development of pro players. I think when we think about development in soccer, it's often we talk about youth development, young kids, but development is a process that occurs all the way through a player's career, right until the later stages. I'm still a developing player as a veteran, older player, so I think that when we talk about development, it doesn't need to be just about youth development. But anyway, I have rambled on about a lot of random topics, I realize, and I'm waiting at the traffic light to turn to go right into the parking lot at Memorial Stadium, where we do all of our training and have our locker rooms here in Seattle. And thanks for tuning in, guys, because I don't actually know why it's the case, but doing these live videos it literally allows me to get to training. The distraction, given the feeling I feel when I'm in the car and I'm stuck in a little bit of traffic, like for some reason this distraction is everything. It really alleviates a lot of the anxiety that I feel when driving, and a lot of what my focus is usually like, how much longer in the drive, am I there yet, where's a restroom if I need to pull over on the side of the road to go to the bathroom, how can I do that. I have with me in the car my roll of toilet paper. I've done some horrible things on the side of the road, So just always hoping I don't have to do that, but if I do, it's been a very interesting process with this, and I will have to say I've had to let go of a lot of shame and embarrassment and things that usually I would feel horrible about. Well, when you gotta do what you gotta do, you cannot feel that way. So in a lot of ways, this has been a time of personal growth. Just pulled into my parking spot. So thank you again, friends, for listening in. I really appreciate it. I hope you took something away from this and learned a little bit, but to be honest, you guys probably have helped me more than I've helped you in this case. So I will talk to you soon. Hopefully I don't keep needing to do these live videos, but I actually enjoy them. So I just saw someone wrote Driving with Yael. I used to do these little YouTube videos called Driving with Yael. So maybe the series will continue on live Instagram. Have a wonderful day. I hope everyone is doing okay out there, and if you're not, if you're struggling, we all are in some way or another. So hang in there and use the support around you and just keep pushing through. Enjoy your day, everyone.